Hey, good morning. It's day 2 of just broken camp. I'm about to leave. It's probably about 8 o'clock or 8:15, and I laid in my tent for over 12 hours, mostly because of my aching. It's really hip that I fell on, and so I had a kind of a fitful night, but I was intent on resting as long as possible. So got some painkillers, and there's a fair amount of pain, but the backpack actually sort of holds my hip in, which is positive. So today there's another long water carry, about 10 miles or so, but I'm all cameled up right now with water, and I'm going to aim to go like 16 miles. There's looks like a good 10 spot and a water source at 16 miles. So unknown, since I haven't hiked since I fell. But that's my goal. Talk to you soon. The trail is amazing. It's so lush, such massive trees, and everything grows very lushly around you. It's just wonderful. Before I came out on my hike, I was full of angst about the trail. How was it going to go? Was I going to get hurt like I did yesterday? And despite my back problems right now, it just feels so wonderful to be out here in this beauty. It just empties your mind of all the clutter that goes on in the world and the news and such, and I'm just grateful to be here amidst this enormously beautiful setting. There's always signs of volcanic activity hiking in Washington as well as Oregon, and you often go through lush forests and all of a sudden see a field of lava rocks, and it reminds you of how this whole area is geologically active, especially the Three Sisters in Oregon, which are showing signs of activity right now. Very nice. It's a cool morning, or it's cool enough. In the deep forest, I took my like a windbreaker, Patagonia Houdini, took that off. Now I'm hiking. I've been passed by a couple of seasoned through hikers, and it's quite impressive to see their pace. Women and men are just who walk like they're speed walking, and it seems so effortless. And I'll get there, but I'm not there now. So I'm kind of bumbling along at 2 to 2.5 miles an hour, which isn't bad. I know once I get my legs and my hip pain goes away, I'll be able to up that. But as well, I can't go too fast and get through the Sierra too early, so I have to keep track of the calendar. Otherwise, I'll have to go home and rest for 3 weeks and then fly back, which is a hassle and expensive. I've barely done many miles today, but I've gone past at least 10 trees down where you're either climbing over or going under. This is an under, and I can squeeze by, which is good. In the shade, downhill on a smooth path, nice and cool, beautiful scenery, back not hurting a ton. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is why I'm out here. All your day-to-day worries from the real world disappear, and you just focused on a few things out here, like water, where you're going to camp, where's your next resupply, and the less things that you're pondering, I think the calmer and the better you feel. Works for me. It's 1 p.m. and I'm at Rock Creek, where I actually tented 2 years ago when everything was full up. I tented right over here in what was, I thought, a parking spot, but yeah, that was my old hangout for a night. Swam in the water. Yeah, amazing. So I'm definitely going on 10.9. I think I can do. I don't want to do too much, screw up my back and my timing. but definitely going to be hiking into the afternoon. Interesting, if you're from the East Coast, rhododendrons. I had forgotten that they might exist out here. There's a grove of them over here, and there's probably more ahead of me. Good. This is interesting. There's a tree growing out of the rotting trunk of a long deceased tree. And what's coming out is, I think this is hemlock. I don't know, it's impossible to say what was down below, but you can see its roots coming down the side. Pretty cool. This shooting has been going on non-stop for the last mile. I feel like I'm navigating through a hunting range or a shooting range. Hopefully they're shooting away from my location. It's 4:30 and I'm still heading up a hill, doing a long series of switchbacks, and I'm about 2 miles from the campsite, which is awesome. I stopped at a pipe that I saw listed on Far Out, got water, so I've got like 3.5 liters of water, because where I'm camping is a dry campsite, and I think it's like 6 miles in the morning to the next water source. So yeah, you got to be prepared with your water supply up here. There's been long stretches without water, which is inconvenient and can be deadly if you're not cognizant of it. Yesterday afternoon, I encountered 2 young women who still had about 7 or 8 miles to go to a water source and were out. So fortunately I had extra, gave it to them, but yeah, you really got to be conscious of it in these dry areas. It doesn't look dry, it looks so lush here, but it can be surprising how far you have to go sometimes to get water. This is one of the giant fir trees that have taken a beating from fire but still survived. Look at the fire on that and on the woodpecker holes. I thought it was dead, but you keep looking up and up and up and up and up, and it's still green at top. It's probably got quite a weakened trunk structure, and you can see the charcoal on the trunk going halfway up the tree. That can't help. Yeah, but these trees are magnificent. This forest is magnificent, and this trail and this hike is just, yeah, something you got to get done. Experience. Hey everyone, it's a little after 7 o'clock, the end of day 2. I'm at mile 21, 88.4.5. Did 19.5 miles in the day, more than I planned on, more than I probably should have, but I have a hard time limiting myself. But I still stopped at like 5:30 and pitched my tent, and I've had a nice meal. The story of the day was, how is my hip and back going to be? And happy to report that it actually was pretty good. It just steadily got better. It really hurts quite a bit when I put the pack on, or if I try and bend down, crawl into the tent, crawl anywhere in this quilt. God forbid I try and roll over at night. It's quite painful. But hiking, which is the reason I'm here, is pretty good. The hip belt holds my hip in place, and that actually helps a fair amount. Hiking today was pretty easy for the first half of the day. Had another long water carry, but it was like 10 miles of or more of just slow downhill in the shade, cool. It's beautiful. It was very relaxing, and it was just what my back needed and my hip needed. And then I reached a bunch of rivers, and I was lucky. I got trail magic. That was awesome. And got a Sprite. They offered me beer, but I thought I would have just passed out on the side of the road if I had that. So I had a Sprite, some nachos, and cheese sticks. It was all good. I was grateful for this couple that were doing this. And I hiked on, and the last third of the day was mostly uphill, long uphill to where I'm at now, and then I'm at the top of the mountain. The good news is it's a lot cooler up here. It was quite hot in the middle of the day down at the rivers, and so happy to be here. Still doing okay. Got to be thinking about how many miles I do per day. Could really mess up my food resupply and get me to the Sierra too early, so I'll have to think about that. So that's it for today. Talk to you soon.